Shōgun, episode 3, now out. Let's talk about it. Okay, so episode 3 of Shōgun is now out on Hulu, and I don't know where else in the country, in other countries there are that it drops on, but in the States it's on Hulu and FX. So episode 3 is now out. And look, I loved the first 2 episodes. They were incredible. So I was really excited for episode 3. And after watching episode 3, to me, this is the best show on TV right now. I think this show is just so supreme compared to the other shows right now that's running. This just takes it to a whole nother level. Like, you remember when you see The Last of Us come out, when you saw House of Dragon come out, when Game of Thrones first came out, you know, those type of shows that come out and you sit there and you watch it and you think to yourself, this is freaking amazing. And you sit there, and I don't know if anyone else does this, but you sit there and you press your remote to bring up the bar of how much time's left. And you're sitting there as you're doing that praying, I hope there's another hour to go here. I hope it's nowhere near finished. And then when you see that there's only like 10 minutes to go, you're thoroughly disappointed because you just want to continue on. That's how I felt after watching episode 3 and about this show. I just want to continue watching this show. It's incredible what they are doing with Shōgun. This episode picks up right off where we left in the last of the week's episodes. And this episode, this is the episode that builds the tension between everyone with a different sort of like Christians, the traditional Japanese, to the people who are in charge. And I love how we see just how smart certain characters are in this episode and how they are moving their chess pieces to maneuver themselves into different positions of power and to maneuver themselves into a position where they can get out and get free to be able to, you know, become the person that's going to create this conflict and hopefully have a resolution. There is also a moment in here as well where we reflect. I can't even speak right now, sorry. There's a moment where we can reflect on something that happened, a very tragic event that happened in the last 2 episodes, involving the mother who lost the son, you remember the baby, and also her husband. So we get to see her with the remains there, and she's going on with them back to where they're going. There's this really, really cool moment involving ships, and there was tension. And that's what I love about the show. This show builds up so much tension, and we already had the tension when they're trying to get out of the city throughout this episode. We already had that tension with something that happens, and then there's this awesome forest fight that happens, so we get to see some cool samurai action, which was awesome to see. I love. There's just something about seeing ninjas and samurais with their swords and that fighting each other. I don't know what it is. I don't know why, but it's like something that is just so aesthetically pleasing to the eye when you're watching it. Watching these samurais just decimate each other, slice each other, sword to sword combat. Loved it. And what I loved is the fire arrows and how it was all lit up. It just made it feel very authentic and real, like we were in the forest and this was actually happening. So I really like that. But then it's when they get onto the boats. We have this really emotional scene with a character, and man, it was badass to see him go what he was doing. That was so badass. But it relates to another character, and they get on their ship, and now there's a blockade and they can't get through. But guess what? The bigger ship's there, and there's this moment where you finally see our Englishman finally get the respect from the Japanese people because of what he does in that moment with the ships. And you just see there's this sense of respect going on between them. And it is then affirmed in the moments at the end of this episode when they're teaching him to dive. And he wants the Englishman to teach them everything he knows about how to use his weapons on his ship, how he fights, because remember, the Japanese fight in a certain way, so he wants to know their tactics and how they do it, so he can incorporate that into his battle strategy when they go and fight the other people that are there at Osaka. So It was fantastic, and I love the diving scene and just how there's so much meaning behind that, and that's what I love about this show. And it's building the characters at the same time. The Englishman, man, he has this brilliant character that is just getting better and better each time. And the actor, man, I think his name's like Cosmo or something like that. His name is. He is freaking superb, bro. He's so good at playing this role. It's just the voice just matches, the physicality matches, and dude, the scene where he is like talking about you don't go looking at a peek at a woman and stuff like that. Hilarious. It was funny, but it was very effective to what he was trying to do in that scenario. So it's brilliant. It really is. And the cinematography. I would have thought that they went back in time and filmed this in feudal Japan. That's how good it looks. It looks gorgeous. Just, you feel like you're in that modern feudal times back then in Japan. That's what you feel like. And they do such a great job at world building this whole entire world that makes you feel very authentic and realistic that you're in that time period. Superb. And then the costume designs, man. Oh, the samurai gear looks so good. I want one. I want the samurai gear up. I want all that. I want to wear that stuff. So that was great. You have Rodriguez. Rodriguez gets introduced back into here in this episode as well. And there's this moment between him and the Englishman. Loved that moment as well. The score is fantastic. The score is great. This show is just incredible. From the characters and the character arcs that we are going on to the chess pieces being maneuvered around. Everyone's trying to gain something and trying to put someone in the thing. Someone's 2 steps ahead of someone all the time. Love that. I love the set design. I love the cinematography. I love the story. The story that's being told right now. I cannot wait for next week's episode. I wanted them to drop another 2 episodes. Like, let's be real. I want them to drop the 4th one as well. But next week's episode is going to be them training and getting prepared for war. As it was, announced at the end of this, we got a war to prepare for now. So we're going to get some action again. We're going to get some more action. I'm looking forward to this, man. This, to me, is the best show running right now on TV. Let me know in the comment section below. Do you guys agree with me? Do you think this is the best show going right now on TV? Maybe it's not, but let me know your comments down below. What did you guys think of the new episode? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Smash it down there. Smash that like button for me and click subscribe. And without further ado, I'll see you guys in the next video. Until then, stay safe and peace out.